Today I'm going to be answering questions from you, the audience. But first, my name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly, and here are 5 questions by you. So Daife asks, if they disable Secure Boot, what will happen? For many operating systems, nothing will happen. In fact, all you will have done is basically turned off the security feature that makes environments that can operate with Secure Boot that much less secure by basically allowing applications to load pre-OS, and by applications I mean viruses and malware. But this is only a problem if your computer is infected. Akron Plays asked, if your CPU already failed, would you have to change it? Is it safe to use, or will it mess up your performance? The CPU is like an engine block. A brand new engine block has a certain set amount of performance that you can attain from it. Obviously, you're going to have to run it a bit for it to get used to the workload. But once it's up and running, that CPU, or engine block as you would prefer, is actually going to be able to do a lot. But once that seizes, gets damaged, somehow, somewhere, it's probably a good idea to get it fixed in the case of an engine block. But in the case of a CPU where that is impossible, it is worth considering changing the CPU. I can't tell you if it's safe to use. What I can tell you is that it will seriously mess with performance. Overclocking to compensate is seriously out of the question, as we can't necessarily figure out why the CPU failed in the first place. Tommy Norwood asks, is thermal grease any good for a CPU? Thermal grease and thermal paste have the same job. What you really want out of both of them is a thermal paste or grease that is electrically non-conductive, that is still capable of conducting heat from the CPU over to the cooler, but that won't conduct electricity in itself. As long as that is what's happening, you are fine. And a lot of places do offer thermal grease, not necessarily thermal paste, because it is a cheaper alternative. That being said, thermal grease doesn't necessarily transmit as well any of the heat from the CPU to the cooler as thermal paste would be, but then again, that obviously depends on the quality of the product we are talking about. Easy Skater asks, so the difference between 40 PCIe lanes and 28 is that if using a two-way GPU card setup, so SLI or a Crossfire, the second one only operates with, and it's their way of saying it, 8 PCIe lanes. The answer is yes. And to go one step further, consumer processors normally only have 16 PCIe lanes, therefore the primary and secondary card operate with only 8 PCIe lanes, and 8 PCIe lanes on a Gen 3 motherboard is more than enough not to bottleneck the graphics cards whatsoever. Normally, the bottleneck would be the CPU. And Tech for Life -Tech and Games asks, do I need a graphics card if my motherboard has a built-in graphics card? The answer is, it depends. So normally people will tell you yes. But you see, rather than tell you that answer and have you maybe annoyed at the fact that I'm pushing a product down your throat, I would like for you to do something that I normally suggest people to do. Read the minimum specifications of all the applications and the games you want to play. Try running them on your current setup. See if you can live with the results from that. And if you can't live with that and you see that you need better performance, then buy the graphics card. If you can live with what is occurring then you can maybe buy the graphics card later, if at all. But it falls on you, and that is the easiest way for you to get your answer. Like this episode if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those that you think could benefit from this, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, for everything else. And if you want to make this show better, you can get it 24 hours in advance of everyone else. Consider being a patron by going to patreon.com/tqaweekly. And of course, that will help make this show better. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.